again, good morning and Happy New Year to all of you. As everyone knows, this is the first Shotsuki Memorial Service in the year 2024, and we thank all of you for joining us here today. I would also like to thank you for the support and guidance that you have given us during the previous year, and ask for your support again during this year as well. As we have been mentioning a lot lately, since the very first Buddhist temple in Los Angeles was founded in 1904 by our very first minister, the Reverend Junjo Izumida. We're now in the 120th year of our existence as a Higashi Honganji temple here on the United States mainland. And as I've mentioned before, the first temple in Hawaii was established a little bit earlier in the 1890s. It's pretty amazing that we've been here that long. As far as we know, the temple established by Reverend Izumida was the first Buddhist temple to be established in Los Angeles. There are probably some of you, a few members who are part of Higashi Honganji in the very early 1950s. See, as I look around, maybe not any of you here today, but at any rate, my father came to the United States in 1953. And the rest of my family, my mother, my two older sisters, and I came in 1955. And so that's like 69 years ago. It's not to exclude him, but Shin, my younger brother, was, as I've said many times before, the only made-in-America child born in 1956 in Los Angeles. And it's amazing for me that I've been a part of this temple for almost 70 years. I actually enjoyed growing up in the temple as a kid. I used to have races with my buddies down the hallway in the old temple. And we used to go upstairs and, we didn't have like nice pews with cushions like this. We had wooden pews with small sabutons, small cushions. And they were in this big like closet. And there were probably about 100, sabutons inside that closet. And many times my friends and I would go to the temple, go upstairs and take all the cushions out and then start, building mountains with the cushions and jumping on them and so forth. And it reminds me of what my grandkids do at our house. They get all the sabutons out and they make a mountain, and that's what we used to do. But at any rate, we were pretty bad. We had BB guns and we would be shooting them by the side of the temple and things like that. And those are the things that my mother used to get really mad about. But just about a year and a half from now, it will be the 50th year since I became a minister in 1975. The year before we moved from the old Boyle Heights Temple to this temple here in Little Tokyo. And I've had the opportunity to meet and to learn from many ministers over so many years. Back in the 1950s, there were people like Reverend Hisashi Nitta, Reverend Tatsuru Kigoshi, Reverend Masanori Ogasawara, and Reverend Toshihisa Enoki, who is still with us. Although I wasn't that attentive nor interested back when I was a kid, they did try to teach Buddhism to us. And those of us who were here back then probably remember at least some of the basic teachings of Buddhism that we received from those ministers. And I've been fortunate to meet other ministers as well and to be inspired by them also. And we all get used to it, I believe, but one of the parts of our work that can be difficult is to conduct funeral services. Excuse me. We give a message, a talk, which gives the families and friends of the deceased attitudes regarding death from the Buddhist perspective. And as you know, it is a tradition to read the passage written by Rennyo Shonin, who is the eighth descendant of Shinran Shonin. And so when you look at our altar, on the right side, you see the image of Shinran Shonin, who we consider to be the founder of our Jodo Shinshu tradition. And then on the other side, there's a scroll of another person or another priest, and that's Rennyo Shonin, the eighth descendant of Shinran Shonin, and a person who was considered to be very important in our Jodo Shinshu or Higashonganji tradition, because he was the one that kind of like popularized or spread the teachings throughout other parts of Japan. And he was also credited with writing the letter on white ashes that we read at funeral services. And I think that each time, I mean, most of you probably, or many of you have come to our funeral services and have heard that letter on white ashes many times. But in case some of you are here that haven't heard it, I thought I would read it here this morning. Excuse me. In silently contemplating the transient nature of human existence, nothing is more fragile and fleeting in this world than the life of a human being. Thus, we have not heard of human life lasting for 1,000 years. Life swiftly passes, and who among us can maintain his form for even 100 years? Whether I go before others or whether others go before me, whether it be today or whether it be tomorrow, who is to know? Those who depart before us are as countless as the drops of dew. Though in the morning we may have radiant health, in the evening we may return to white ashes. When the winds of impermanence blow, our eyes are closed forever, and when the last breath leaves us, our face loses its color. Though loved ones gather and lament, everything is to no avail. The body is then sent into an open field and vanishes from this world with the smoke of cremation, leaving only the white ashes. Nothing is more real than this truth of life. The fragile nature of human existence underlies both the young and old, and therefore we must one and all turn to the teachings of the Buddha and awaken to the ultimate essence of life. By so understanding the meaning of death, we come to appreciate the meaning of this life, which is to be treasured because it is unrepeatable. By virtue of true compassion, let us realize the unexcelled value of this existence, and let us live together with gratitude in our hearts. With reverence, I remain. That last part is meant to make the death of someone we were close to more bearable, to become able to accept the reality of life and death. By so understanding the meaning of death, we come to appreciate the meaning of this life, which is to be treasured because it is unrepeatable. By virtue of true compassion, let us realize the unexcelled value of this existence, and let us live together with gratitude in our hearts. This is, I believe, Shinran talking to us. It is, when we think about it, a very positive message. By so understanding the meaning of death, we come to appreciate the meaning of this life, which is to be treasured because it is unrepeatable. And then by virtue of true compassion, let us realize the unexcelled value of this existence, and let us live together with gratitude in our hearts. I think that, this kind of message or this kind of teaching is really an important message that we can receive on, an occasion like this when we welcome in a new year. I'm sorry to give the first Sunday Dharma talk talking about funerals and so forth, but these lessons teach us, whether it is on happy occasions or sad and painful occasions, this is our life, and we need to accept all of our experiences in everyday life and to try to the best of our abilities to learn from them. Let's see. One thing was, this year, as you know, is the Year of the Dragon. And every year, I think about the year that it is. I was born in the year of the rat, which isn't a real, well, actually it's a good year. But at any rate, this year is the year of the dragon. And I used to always envy people who, especially guys, who were born in the year of the dragon because it just sounds so good. This is what they say about the year of the dragon. The dragon year people are healthy and energetic, and at the same time excitable, short-tempered, and terribly stubborn. Are there any dragon people here today? At any rate, these are, of course, typical attributes for the dragon year person. However, dragon year people are honest, sensitive, and brave, and can inspire trust in almost everyone. They are the most eccentric of any in the cycle. They don't like to borrow money or to make complimentary or flowery speeches. Yet they are sincere in what they say and their opinions are valid. They are capable of doing good work and devoting themselves to good works. But they can be just as strong in devoting themselves to evil. They are quite soft-hearted and are taken in by any sort of line. This gives other people tremendous advantage over them. Dragon people worry a great deal and for no reason. They are not prone to marry early and in some cases not at all. This may account for their loneliness in their old age. That's pretty terrible. But anyway, this is what they say about the dragon. And one year, it's about maybe 8 or 9 years ago, a person from Japan happened to come to our temple. And, I'd never met him before. And he says, I'm a painter. And I said, oh, what do you paint? And he says, well, I learned the art of painting dragons. And so he said, would it be all right if I spent some time here and, draw a picture of a dragon that you can, keep at the temple? And so he sat right at the, where the back doors are, right in front of there, laid out some newspapers and things and sat on the floor. And then within like 5 minutes, he made this beautiful artwork of a dragon. And I'm sorry to say, for so many years, it's just sitting in my office. And today, so I thought I'd show you the dragon that he drew for us. Is that all I was going to say? I think so, yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I didn't make any conclusions or anything, but anyway, Janet won't want me to talk any longer than this, so thank you for listening.